Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Feel Good Friday vlog. If you're new here, I'm Betty and I make videos about things I find in the flea markets and the charity shops, car boots, online, on eBay, on Vinted, anywhere really, all secondhand, pre-loved, thrifted. And every Friday I post what I've found either from that week, this week, or from my collection, and I am always ably assisted by my beautiful, glamorous daughter, Begonia Coconut. So today I've got some pieces from my collection of fine art, some prints, some original paintings, oil paintings or pastels, and I'm sure you're going to love them, and also some selected pieces of jewellery that I've been going through and trying to filter out to sell. I'm not a reseller, I just sell stuff to try and manage the hoard. Don't know how successfully I'm managing the hoard. Well, I can tell you, not very. Right at this very moment, around the edges of the camera is absolute chaos. Mountains of, well, in the room at the moment it's all Christmas stuff. What I've tried to do is retire a lot of the Christmas decorations that I've had up every year. I've tried to sort of control my collecting. What am I talking about? It's absolute rubbish. So I bought a whole new load of Christmas decorations, new, old decorations, sort of inspired by a vintage 90s maroon theme. As you can see, I've made a little start. I've got the garland I got a couple of weeks ago up very randomly. I just literally threw it, hooped it and threw it. It's not finished, clearly. I've got the cushions out. They were from a couple of years ago. They're not this year. And I've got I've got 3 trees up. And I've tried really to concentrate on going with this year's theme of the 90s. All the stuff that I bought this year. And, well, that's all. No. No. Some things are best kept secret. Yeah, but it's been a bit of a weird week. And you might say, what's new? But this week was very different because I will do anything except what I'm supposed to do. I will just wander off in my own little world and procrastinate, fiddle with things, dig around, wander about, drive off somewhere, anywhere, no real intention, and then get myself into trouble with myself. So this week I forced myself to sit down and finish a short story that I'd had the idea for quite a while, and I did it. Unbelievable, I know, thank me very much, but I told myself that under no circumstances could I get up, move, eat, drink, look at nice sparkly things until I'd finished it. And I did that on Tuesday. But what that means is it sort of took all of my sort of concentration powers. It took everything. It emptied my concentration resources. The reservoir was dry yesterday. So I didn't go to the flea market. But what I did do was sell a vintage glass Ginkgo Bilboa frame on Vinted. Of course I didn't know where it was. So I had to go digging, had to go rooting last night, and I still haven't found it, but what I did find was a whole collection of fine art that I didn't know I had. So that's what you've got today. You've got some vintage jewellery, obviously, and some vintage fine art. There's a theme, of course there is. But first, jewellery. So I have got, as you know, just crates and crates and crates of stuff upstairs. A load of it is just all shite, which is kind of, it's not really even worth repurposing. I'm just going to leave it in there until hopefully at some point I'm still alive and it's sort of turned vintage and it's come back in fashion or something like that, or not. But I do have obviously some absolutely beautiful pieces, and here we go. I'm going to show you something that I have not got listed for sale, but I didn't know I had. This beauty. It's a Swarovski gold tone brooch in the form of an envelope. Isn't that amazing? I completely forgot about I had this. There's a little swan. Bet you that's not in focus. Billy Swan's in focus. Swarovski swan, not in focus. There, but it's on the bottom. And oh, that's going to inspire some sort of lost love letter, unrequited romance short story. My short stories, as you can imagine, are like my vlogs. Bit subversive, teetering on the darkness, always with a sort of a jolly overtone. Very dark undertones. No one gets out alive. So, right, okay, I'm not selling this, I'm keeping this. Inspiration for a tale of love and loss, probably. What I am selling is this absolute beast. Isn't that incredible? It's vintage, it's got to be 80s, but it's a sort of modernist stroke, brutalist, revivalist, I'd say. Seashell brooch, matte gold, whopper, a whopper stopper, not signed, which is a bit disappointing because I've never seen another one like it, not even resembling it. So I was hoping that was going to be by somebody amazing, but I can't find anything at all on Google. But it is for sale. It's on Vinted. I think I also put it on Etsy. It's on Etsy as well, and it's £32. I'm hoping no one's going to buy that because I love it. What I might do is put the brooches on Billy. Yeah, hang on. I might have to just readjust something. Oops, had a bit of a technical incident there. What I'll do is just put them on there first, on the seashell first, very golden girls, and I'll put them on Billy later. Next, I've got a Crown Trafari, vintage mid-century, strange looking thing, really. That's how it goes. That's the way it goes. The angle it goes. Yeah, it's definitely more dramatic that way. And it's got a sort of a brushed, brutalist centre with a smooth... What do you call those? What are those called? Not filigree. Filigree. Slightly sort of brutalist filigree. You can see I've had my bollocks pill this morning. Let's put that down. What's next? Yeah, Napier, similar era. Textured bow, gold tone. You're gonna like this look, Billy. Did I mention this is Billy Swan? You'll have to go back on some of the videos, but there we go. Oh, very smart. Oh God, I hope this doesn't sell. Do you see what I mean? It's just, honestly, I wish I was one of those people who, you know, could just buy and sell anything. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm immediately attached to everything I see. I want it. I love it. I want to keep it. But, you know, I'm only a little woman with only so much space to fill. That's that. I think that, oh no, there's another one that's branded. This one is Mgent. Mgent. I think it goes that way. It's like a sort of an abstract Q. That's for sale as well. I can't remember how. I think these are much more manageable prices. I think that one's worth 15. I think that one's 35. That one, but it's a classic and a timeless piece. That's not for sale. 32. Can't remember. And also this one is not branded, but it is vintage. It is a vintage, and I do have it up for sale. I think it's 25, because there are lots on Amazon, sort of AliExpress, but they're very low quality compared to this one. This one I think actually might have a super duper quality crystal set in there, that one in that one, because it's got a bit of an aurora borealis flash. It's very, very nice. It's not your cheapy sort of, you know, mass produced, hot off the AliExpress train. That's that. And I'm selling 4 as a lot. And shall I move? No, I'll just put them all down. Oh, drop them on the floor. There we go. So this is a lot. This one is so gorgeous, and I just wish it had a name brand, but it doesn't. It just has a, I think it's got a factory stamp. Yeah. But these are worth between sort of 5 and 10 each in England. They're the sort of best quality of the non-signed pieces, and I've got them listed on Vinted and Etsy, I think, or eBay for £20 for all 4. And I'll be very, very sorry to see them go. This one especially is really nice quality. I thought that might have been a scarf clip when I first saw it, because it's classic design for a scarf clip, but it's got some crystals in there and it's got some lovely details, and they're all in absolutely gorgeous vintage condition. Here I am talking myself into not selling it. If those come down, if I anyway, you can see for yourself how nice they are. I can't look too closely or I'll just keep them. So those are the brooches I've got. What I'll do is just put them on Billy now, and I'll be back with you in 1 second. Oh, Billy, you look fabulous. You look like a well-decorated veteran of fashion. A fashion victim. No. A fashion hero. Absolutely marvellous. Okay, next. 2 necklaces that I have shown you before, but I've sort of had a little bit of dig around and looked into them in more detail, and they're both up for sale. I did a little bit of a sort of hit on Vinted and Etsy and put some really nice pieces up that I've sent off. I sold about 5 pieces and I already regret all of them, honestly. Anyway, this one you've seen quite recently. It is a vintage West Germany, so 50s or 60s it must be, and I call it the blackberry necklace, but you can't put blackberry necklace on Etsy or Vintage or anything like that, because they think that you're trying to sell a blackberry. And the whole system turns into chaos. So I can only put a berry and the colour is black and purple. But yeah, it's cute. There's a few sort of slightly out of alignment, but I've got it up for £5, which is ridiculously cheap. But I've just got to move some stuff out of the way. It's crazy. It's like sort of an ascent up a mountain, trying to get around the house. Anyway, you know. So that's that one. And this one I got probably in the middle of a lockdown, and I remember sitting outside of the charity shop on a really bleak day. Oh, it was bitter cold and it was just desolate. It was one of those charity shops in an industrial estate. Oh, it was bad. But I found this shining light, and it is a vintage French rope twisted statement chain choker, and that is at a ridiculously cheap price of £19.50. I think it's probably worth loads more, but I can't find a reasonable sort of equivalent price on any others. There's a couple. I think there was one on like a sort of, you know, what's it called? What's that really high end? Oh God, you know what I mean. Vinteria. One of those sort of sites, and it was £95 or something crazy. But obviously they've got huge fees. But I've got mine for £19.50, and I would definitely be wearing it and keeping it. But I've got a rugby player's neck. I might have said it before, and this is for a swan. Actually, for Billy Swan. Oh, perfect. The last necklace that I've got for my collection, which is still a mystery. I've seen them sort of on Etsy and other sites like that, at quite high prices, but nothing like this. And it's, I don't know when this was in vogue, but it's a ribbon bound beaded garland necklace, and it's so Christmassy. I'm not really sure how you wear it. It's a bit too garlandy for me to wear. I adore the colour. I mean, God, look how vibrant that green is. Looks, oh my God, looks amazing. Everything looks good on Billy Swan. But I've just no idea how to wear it. I put it on because I love it so much. It's so silky and ropey and beady and ribbony and Christmassy and greeny. But I just look like I've got a Christmas garland like that around my neck, like that. So I don't know. Somebody else can put it on and just look $1 million. You know that weird kind of crazy thing about fashion? Looks terrible on one person, looks amazing on another. I love that about fashion. So that's that. Last bit of jewellery I've got to show you was something I found on the hoof. I was running around on Monday, I think it was, sending off some parcels, and I ran into one of those awful high street shops that's just so depressing. My God, it's got sort of fluorescent lights. All the staff are depressed, gloomy, bit grubby, but I'd seen online that they have pink Christmas trees, and I was literally about to crack. I was about to fold because I can't find a pink Christmas tree in the charity shops or the flea market. And I went in, and oh my God, my soul just turned to sand and poured out of my body as I got in about 6 feet through the front door. And I thought, you know what? I don't know if I can carry on. I'm not going to make it go on to Christmas without me. And I wandered about as much as I could. God, it was bleak. Oh, it was like the 80s. And I had to just ask someone, and they looked horrified, terrified when I spoke to them. He had like a pricing gun, and I said, "Excuse me." He went, "Oh, oh." I said, "Do you have any pink Christmas tree?" "No, we haven't got any Christmas." "No." I said, "Okay, thank you, bye-bye." I scurried like a scurrier out of that shop, and I kept scurrying to the car. Horrible it was, but I did pass a charity shop on the way, and I found this. Paris. Please forgive me. I am about to attempt to pronounce something in Chinese. Oh dear, it's not going to go well, and I apologize to all my Chinese friends in advance, and actually to everyone else, Chinese or not, in advance. This is going to be terrible, but it is by, if you can see in there, I don't know if it's going to focus. No. Zhulongjing. Zhulongjing? Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it in an English accent. Zhulongjing. And this one, I believe, is vintage. They still make them, but it's like a sort of paint enamel, and it's got Paris on it with some hearts, and I think this is from the 80s. And some of them are priced at over £100. And some of them are priced at £6. So it's a little bit of an enigma. I don't know really, but I just had a feeling about this. I just saw it in a collection on one of those long stands, you know, like a long tube of black velvet in the charity shop cabinet. And it screamed at me. It shouted, "Hola!" Oh no, that's Spanish. It shouted, "Madame! Madame! Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?" I can't think of what's "take me home" in French. All I know is the voulez-vous coucher avec moi. Retournez avec moi à ma château. Better not ever go back to Paris. They won't let me through customs. Banned for life for that. Anyway, so there we go. I got that pink Paris bangle. Fabulous. Right then. Art. Sit back, move back, take a breath. Well, hello there. Just a little thing I found in a charity shop. It's enormous. Hang on. Isn't that magnifique? Lion reclining by the light of the moon. I'm a bit disappointed it's not signed, to be honest, because I think it would be worth a fortune. Isn't he amazing? I love him. He was over my bed for a couple of years. I've got to move everybody out of the way. Come on, Babs. He's all down there for a minute. And Billy Swan, be careful. Don't drop any of your medals. There we go. Bunty Tits McGee. Just 1 second. There. Don't need that. So. I don't know who the artist is, but I would very much like to thank them for their ambition. He's marvellous. I just want to move into a house where he could be displayed in all his glory and splendour, because this is a Victorian house and it's very hard to find a suitable place for something as huge as this. I would go so far as to say this might be life-size. And he's looking right at you. So anyway, he hasn't got a name yet. If you think of a name for him, leave me a message in the comments, because I've not named him. Hang on. Is that going to stay? Just adjust you a little bit. Oh, there we go. Hope that didn't make you feel queasy. So that's him. And I've got some other stuff that I've had for years that's actually just sort of an emotional attachment. And been in a crate, a little bit dusty. The first one was a card given to me by a friend, and it just had the right sort of message at the right time, because I feel I resonated with this cat. I like to move quietly. Can you see on his badge? Move quietly. It's just a print on a card. But yeah, I agree. Leave no trace. So he's gorgeous. Next, complimentary, move quietly. But as well as moving quietly, also, I am evil. Yep. It's like looking in the mirror, looking at these two. Obviously, I've said it before, I would say that I'm probably 95% cat. I've been thinking about doing one of those DNA tests that you can get, you know, like ancestry.com and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I think I can just pretty much guess myself. I don't need a test to tell me. However, I'm not against a bit of a dog every now and again. And I bought this little cutie because I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. It's vintage, but it's one of those textured prints. It's got a lot of dust on it too. It's been in a box for... I mean, I'm 95% cat. I'm not going to have loads of dogs sitting around the house, am I? But I thought this one was really adorable. And I love that sort of old master style in a kitsch setting. So there's a little tortoise. I don't know what they've had for dinner, but that's gone. And I just thought he was really cute. Again, no name. I don't even know what kind of dog he is, but I just like the aesthetic on that. And it's, you know, one of those, as I said, textured prints. They're still worth quite a bit of money. I mean, my God, I mean, they're not worth a fortune, but you know, they're worth a few quid, 30 quid. So that's him. So yeah, I reckon, well, I don't reckon, I'm absolutely certain that our Chico here has passed on over the Rainbow Bridge back to Chihuahua in Mexico and is living out eternity in the sunshine. And I would guess that Chico's mum has probably joined him. So Chico's with me now. Love you, Chico. I prefer amateur art to what you would call fine art. And it's got nothing to do with the financial value. It's just about the expression and the emotion and the experience and oh, that person making that art of their beloved baby pooch or kitty. And here we go. This is a lovely piece I picked up. I think it was in the flea market. And someone has done a picture of somebody else's cat for them for Christmas, I think. So this is a pyrography picture of someone's pet cat. And it's to Muriel and George with best wishes from Ken, April 94. Oh, Ken. Oh, I love you. And Muriel and George's cat. They must have adored it. Oh, I adore it. I just think it's amazing. So isn't that gorgeous? Sentimental old fool that I am. Next, now, this one is actually accomplished. There's no denying it. It's fantastic. Mid-century vintage piece. It's signed M. Kerridge, and I think that's amazing. Look at the look in its eyes. It's got it all. We've all met a cat like that. I think that's brilliant. Take that look off your face. I can see through your smile. Somebody's gonna get bit. Oh God, I just think it's gorgeous. Nothing on the back, unfortunately. No date or anything, but it's a mid-century frame, so I would say 60s. Yeah, 60s frame. Stunning. And it's an original fine art piece of original fine art. I've been concentrating too long on that script. It's an original oil painting. Amazing. And you can go there because piece de resistance. I have saved the best till last. It's not the end of the vlog, but I've saved the best till last. Brace yourselves. Here they come. Are you ready? You what? I beg your pardon. Look at them eyes. Oh, try to look at them eyes. They're trying to look at you. Oh my God, I absolutely adore this. Put it on eBay. And I was outbid. I remember I was in the bath and I was very excited and I was waiting, I was getting all into it. I was waiting for the last countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, and I thought I had it. And then all of a sudden, the auction went, it closed. And the sign came up on my email to say, you have lost, you were outbid. Absolutely gutted. Thought I couldn't live without it. Thought I had a new baby. And then all of a sudden, the next day, another email announcement, the cat has been relisted. I thought, what the hell? Messaged the seller and I said, excuse me, is this a glitch? Has eBay just sort of relisted it by accident? And they said, no, the other person pulled out. They won the bid, but they didn't want it. I said, can I just have it now? And they said, yeah, you can have it. And I think it was £10. But no, maybe more. It was probably like £15. I would have paid anything, to be honest, at that point, because I was in love with it. And who wouldn't be? So there you go. Amazing. Talented artist. Not signed that I can see. Maybe I should take it to an art restorer and they can try and look for a signature. Can you imagine walking in with this? Excuse me, Oh, fabulous. Right then. Okay. Oh, yeah. I've got a little thing to show you next. It's art. It's my art. Bear with. So, I was a writer for a long time in all sorts of um, companies, kinds, TV, theatre, stage, magazines, all sorts of things. And I left it to do something else, which I did for a long time. And then I did something else after that, and then after that. And when I came back to England, I found Begonia Coconut. I had no intention of going back into writing, but all of a sudden I felt like Paul McCartney, and a song just fell out of me. I was inspired by my beautiful muse, and here it is. It's my book, my children's book. Florence Westbury was the pen name that I took when I wrote it, because I was just kind of messing about. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was going to stay. I just made up that name because it sort of meant something to me at the time. So that's not what I'm going to be using in the future. It's going to be Bamboo Betty will be my business name now. From now on everything I do. But this is my little children's book, and it's completely inspired by Begonia Coconut. Inside my illustrations, it's got little colouring pages and an introduction, story of how I found a stray kitten with golden eyes, cold and alone outside, and brought her home to live with me. Hello? Hello? She doesn't want to be on this camera at the moment. So this is the story. That's what she looked like when I found her. And it's a little song that children can make up their own music to, or just read it as a poem. And it tells the story of how she progressed. Oh, I can't turn the pages. In our house together. She loves sunbeams. And she loves to bite everything. She would just sit and just chew on anything when she was 6 months. I got her when she was about 6 months old. And yeah. She also still loves to poop in random places. I think it's, first of all, I thought, is there something wrong with her? Now I just think she likes it. And then there's a little colouring page at the back of it, and you can write your own verse. And it's for sort of children aged between 3 and 5, maybe 6. Or, you know, middle-aged women like me. So I wrote that. That was the first one. And honestly, it was like the lights went on. Parts of my brain that I hadn't accessed in decades suddenly started fizzing and crackling. And, I didn't really want to go there. I didn't really want to sort of wake up that part of my creativity. Because I just don't enjoy it in the slightest. I find it excruciating, but I'm stuck with it. And I mean, I would just never do it if I could get away with it, but people like it. I'm not being arrogant or vain or big-headed, but people like it, and I sort of have to do it. Do you know that? Well, I don't know. Modesty prevents me from saying I'm an artist, but I suppose I can do it. I suppose I can. I know I can do it because I used to get paid for it. That's not necessarily. Oh, I'm rambling. So I just felt so sort of content after having completed this, and it was a hell of a job trying to get it printed, do all the shit that goes with it. It wasn't just, you know, writing a story. It was, you know, hard work. Dealing with all the other bits. I wrote another one. I wrote the second part, so the sequel, and there's another colouring page, and this is the story of not how I found her, but how we lived together, and it's called Fairy Face. So, Song for a Fairy Face. Oh, the first one was Song for a Stray Kitty. And the next one was Song for a Fairy Face. And there she goes. She's got a fairy face. She's always in a race to the all-day buffet. I won't read it now. I'm going to do a separate video reading it out for children. So, yeah, she likes to scratch the sofa. She likes to chew the plants. She likes to make a stink. And sleep on my head. And there we go. Same thing again. Another colouring page and a little verse for the children to write there. It sort of came from something I had been doing for a few years. I was a drama and singing coach for all ages, adults mostly, but then I sort of veered off and started teaching young children, kindergarten children, and well, God, that was a baptism of fire. And I sort of loved working with the children. It was joyous, truly, truly joyous. And they were so exciting and inspiring. But like everything, the whole thing was ruined by adults, admin, managers, mid-managers, head teachers, other teachers. People just ruin everything. So I extracted myself from that. But what I kept was the inspiration from the kids. And I'd truly learned how to communicate. And it sort of brought back that joy of clarity and fun and sort of, not mayhem, but, you know, that sort of unregulated giggling that you can have just over being silly over things. It was just that. It was so freeing. I had some of the best laughs of my life sitting around a desk with 4-year-old kids in Hong Kong. I don't mean just, you know, pretend laughs to entertain them. I mean real, proper, crying belly laughs. Heaven it was. So yeah, so that was the sort of start of me starting to write again. And I'm going to be absolutely flogging the life out of these books trying to sell them, because I need to get rid of these so I can do a rebranding that's not Florence Westbury, that's Bamboo Betty. And also there's a little bit of a, oh God, it wasn't a typo, it was a technical nightmare. And my iPad changed something. There's a bit of a thing that's been altered. It changed something that was grammatically correct to incorrect. Oh, everybody knows that pain. So I've had to go through and change it by hand. But still, I'm selling them for $4.99 plus postage. Only in England, I'm afraid, because of Brexit and all that kind of stuff. But if you have little ones that think they might like it, please send me a message, or please go to my eBay or Etsy. They're on both of those, and have a look, see what you think. $4.99 for both books, for the set. A bargain. It cost me blood. But they make perfect little Christmas presents. So that is the end of that little sales pitch. What have I got for you next? I'm going to finish the vlog with what I've done so far with the Christmas trees and the bit of Christmas decorations. And then I am going to, oh Lord, I am going to attempt to narrate this Christmas short story. Honestly, I've got to do it or I'll die. Yeah, I'm going to narrate it myself, and this will be the first Sunday Stories piece of fiction that I put up on Bamboo Betty on my YouTube channel. So if you like a bit of sort of coffee break, you know, it's not going to be a Hallmark style story. It is me after all. There's a bit of there's a bit of subversion in there. It's sort of inspired by the traditional Christmas fairy tale. But with a real reality bite. And but it's got a fantastic happy ending. Yeah, it's inspired by the traditional Christmas story, sort of Cinderella-y, but obviously in a modern setting with a modern twist, and feminist, obviously. So I'm rambling on about it because I'm just putting off going to record it. So yeah, please, if you like fiction, short stories, bit of a coffee break, you know, distraction, please tune in on Sunday and share that with your friends who might not like watching me talk about all the knickknacks I bought, but do like a little bit of a story of them driving or working or sewing or crocheting or cooking or anything like that, or just sitting, just staring out the window. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic week. I hope you find some treasures if you like going out, or you've enjoyed what I've shown you if you like staying in. Take care. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.